me too. It's the. Where is it even?
So was that whose voice was that for the trailer?
That was my fiance's. That was Grace.
That was awesome. Like, I really like the trailer you did there.
Yeah, she did the voices for me. She did all the voices while I was writing this story. I would have her read it to me at night, almost like a bedtime story, and it was the coolest thing because she would do all the voices of all the different characters. It was the funniest and the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome.
It's all things that you kind of imagine in your head, like what you think they would sound like. But whenever everybody reads a story, they're going to read it differently than what other people will sound like, or they might have an actor in their head. But always loved reading Rogue. I think she's just a character that you kind of like as a no gives a fuck kind of badass, and you kind of like that anti-hero vibe that comes from her. I mean, and who else wouldn't love a sassy, badass redhead, right?
Right.
I mean, I grew
Yeah,
up.
it was definitely enjoyed it.
Now, did you finish reading the whole thing, or you stopped?
No, I stopped. I got through part of that script, and I was like, I got to have the art with this, and so I'm looking forward. I think I backed you on all 3 sites, actually. I'm not sure though, but yeah, I was. It didn't take much, and that's saying something because all I had was a script, and
yeah,
that just speaks to your storytelling. So,
well, thank you. That really does mean a lot. I mean, considering this was my very first story.
Yeah, I've heard some stories. I heard that you knocked out the main part of the story in just a few months, right?
Well, I mean, the whole process took us just about a year between writing the story and with Kitty doing the artwork. It was about a year project.
That's still pretty fast.
Oh yeah, I mean extremely fast. I mean, he busted his ass off, like just putting out pages like every day. I mean, he was every free chance he had, he was drawing. I mean, even when he was going to work, he would bring his laptop with him, and he'd be like, "Well, I got like 2 hours downtime on my job. I'm bringing my laptop, and I can bang out, and I can finish banging out this one page." Be like, "Well, I got 2 hours down between this job. I'm going to bring my laptop." I mean, he worked non-stop. I actually had to yell at him a couple times to take a break. I was like, "Dude, take a break. You're gonna fry your brain out." I was like, "Trust me, you will. You will fry yourself out. Take a break." And he's like, "Are you sure it's okay?" I'm like, "Yes, it's okay. Take a break." Like we were like, I mean, and I mean, the book's done. I'm just having my fiance here. She's just going over last minute editing and word and spelling because I don't spell.
Yeah, I hear you. I am a writer too. I love to write, and my grammar is horrible.
Oh yeah, When you're and she was like, "Well, doesn't your laptop have like autocorrect?" I'm like, "Yeah, autocorrect says it has no suggestions."
Yeah. And even when you go through autocorrect, it's not always the most reliable source.
Right.
Like,
So, especially
I
when you yeah, Dave. Especially when you're using different forms of the same word.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I would be sitting on our couch typing, and she would be in the bedroom or just in the kitchen. I'm like, "Hey, babes, how do you spell this?" She'd be like, "What? How do you spell this?" She's like,
So this comment here,
yeah, later. Just tell me how to spell this.
This comment here is from a buddy of mine, and I text a lot, and he's saying my grammar is horrible. He's always correcting me. I'll send him a message and then I'll get it back proofread. I'm like, come on. He's like, I don't know what you're saying half the time.
I have texted Kitty, and it'll be late at night, or I'll be at my job, or I'll just be super tired, and I think I spelled every word right. I'm like, oh, I typed right. I spelled all the way. And also I'll look at it, I'm like, holy crap, what the fuck did I type? It's like, Ori. I'm like, what the? He would text me back and be like, are you okay? He's like, you dying? I'm like, no, dude, I'm just tired.
Is that even English?
I'm like, listen, fat fingers and small keyboards do not work. Okay.
Right. Especially on phones. That's the worst.
But yeah, the story, I went through 8 rewrites with the story. And with the help of Elon, who I met on Twitter, who also was dumb enough to give me his cell phone number.
What's his full name?
Elon Mudd.
Yes, that's the guy I was talking about. He was talking about you in a live stream I watched the other day.
Yes.
And he was talking about how he met you on Twitter and you started going back and forth. And he's like, he was amazing because you banged out this comic so fast.
Oh, yeah. Like, and he made the horrible mistake of giving me his cell phone number because he was helping me develop the story. And I was messaging him. He's like, hey, man, you know what? Just call me. You know, it's easier. Okay. And I'm calling him like every day. I'm like, yo, dude, I just got this idea. He'd be like, what do you want? I'm like, well, you told me I could call you. He's like, yeah, just not every day. Like, it's like 4 a.m, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was awesome. He really helped me develop the story. And yeah, he was really impressed of just how fast I was banging this thing out because, you know, he's even said to me, he goes, you know, most guys who say like, oh, I want to write a story, I want to write a book. He's like, okay, you know, it'll be like 4 months before you get me a readable draft or like, you know, a couple pages even. And like, I think within like the first like 2 weeks of me talking with him, I'm like, here, dude. I'm like, here's 90 pages. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, it's like 80 pages I just wrote. He goes, okay. and it was funny too, because originally the story was only supposed to be, when I started this story, I was like, okay, I'm going to keep it at 60 pages. 60 pages should be good. And I was talking with Kitty. And I says, you know, you can handle 60 pages. She's like, yeah, I can handle 60 pages. That's not going to be a problem. I said, okay. Well, we went through a rewrite. And then it was, all right, dude, now it's 80 pages. He goes, okay. 80's a little bit more, but I can handle that. He goes, okay. And then I messaged back. I'm like, yeah, it's 90 now. He goes, okay. And then finally I'm like, all right, dude, it's 121 pages. He goes, what? Like, yeah. He goes, okay, that's you're done, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. And it's funny, like I like somebody was asking me like some of the names of the characters in my book, and I had actually forgotten them because I haven't looked at the story since I finalized it and gave it to Kitty because I'm too afraid to read it and be like, you know, this would sound better if we did this. I'm right. Like we were even editing it, and I'm like, you know what would sound better? She's like, no. I was like, no, you like, no, I can't rewrite pages now. And I'm like,
we're our own worst enemy when it comes to that.
Oh, without a doubt, we are.
Yeah.
Everything is just, it's bad. it's real bad. And with me, I would get my ideas like I'd be laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and all of a sudden just like shooting up and going, I got it, and I would wake her up and be like, I got the idea. She's like, idea what? You're getting hit in the head? What the fuck?
Right. No, I feel you on that. I've been playing with an idea for a new book in my head, and today when I was waiting for my cousin at the gym, in 20 minutes I probably wrote 4 chapters in my head, and I'm like, man, I need my tablet.
Oh yeah. And then you get home to your tablet, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
shit, I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shit.
But so are we gonna get a Rogue 2?
Yes, we are.
Nice.
As soon as this campaign is all as soon as everything is all mailed out, I'm gonna start writing that.
Cool.
Probably gonna do a second chance campaign a little bit after this, so this way the story stays fresh in people's heads, people who missed it, and I'm hoping to, since I'll have actually physical copies. I knew a lot of reviewers who wouldn't take just a script. They were like, no, I need a physical copy of the book so I can do not just the story, but the artwork as well. I says, well, I don't have that yet, but after the campaign, I'll have extra copies. I'll mail you one. So I'm hoping to still do that to still help spread the word about it, and keep it fresh in people's heads. But yeah, there will be a Rogue 2. It will not be as long as this one. It will not be 121 pages. I'm going to try to keep it under. I'm going to try to keep it under 60.
I was
60 pages.
I was a little apprehensive when you said you just had the script, but I was like, you know what? Let's check it out, because what you had on the campaign looked cool, and you were very passionate about it. So I'm like, all right, let's see. I'm glad I did, because like I said, man, like I just read a few pages into that script and was like, oh, I'm sold.
And I'll tell you that honestly means a lot to me. It really does. Like, as a first time, I mean, this is my first time ever doing this. I've never written a story. I've never written a short story. Like, nothing. I've never done this before. So to have people actually excited about it and like enjoy it, I was like, oh, okay, wow. I must be onto something here.
Right.
It's a really, really cool feeling. And yeah, I mean, and everybody who I did give an advanced copy of the story to, I mean, everybody said the same thing, just like you. They're like, dude, this reads like a 90s movie. This reads exactly like a 90s movie. The old heavy metal magazines. They're like, this reads exactly like that. I'm like, I know. It's what I based it off of.
Man, even the trailer, I felt like I was watching a movie trailer for a 90s action flick. I was like, this is awesome.
Well, actually, I'll lie. I'll be honest with you. I actually got the idea for the trailer from the original trailer of Escape from LA.
Oh, okay.
That's how the trailer from Escape from LA starts off. And I was asking people around to do a trailer for me, because everybody says like, oh, well, you know, you should have a trailer, you know, on your campaign sites to introduce the character in the book to get people to be interested in it. I said, okay, this is how long should it be? They're like about a minute or less. They're like, you don't want long trailers because people just will lose interest and not stick around to watch something that long. And I sent over the trailers from Escape from LA to De Silva, who did the trailer for me. And I says, this is what I want. He goes, okay. You just got to give me a voiceover and some images, and we'll take care of it. And I'll take care of it for you. And that's exactly what we did. And the trailer was awesome. I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun to do, especially with her. And yeah, I mean, everything from this book is inspired from just all the movies and TV shows that I grew up watching and loving and enjoying. I mean, everything.
Yeah, it's I was gonna ask you who did the trailer. That was it was really good.
Yeah, let me look him up. Who did it? I'll tell you exactly. Let's see, where is he? I gotta look him up now.
My dog is like, I want to come in and hang out.
No, don't worry. Our dog is right in back of us too.
Yeah,
Actually.
he's like barking and like making noises. Oh yeah.
I just heard him whining at the door. I'm like, oh my goodness, guy.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a bull in a china shop for one. He's a Shar-Pei Pug Beagle Pit Bull mix.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have two of those.
Sounds like my ethnicity. Sounds like
and then I have a Shar-Pei Pit. So our first two dogs was a Pug Beagle, and that was our male. And then my wife was like, I need another dog because he needs a friend. And I'm like, okay.
Want to show us?
No.
And I said, okay. So we got our female, who was a Shar-Pei Pit. And then they decided they had to have babies. So we ended up with a couple extra pups.
We got a 6-pound Chihuahua, long hair, and yeah.
I love Chihuahuas.
Yeah, he's such a good boy, and he rarely yaps, which is kind of rare for Chihuahua. When he does, it's usually out of really protective instincts. If he hears, if he hears like really random noises,
or sees another dog on TV.
Yeah, or if he's watching a scary movie.
Yeah.
Anybody walks near my house, all 4 of my dogs go nuts.
Oh.
I live in the south side, which is like the south side of any major city. It's not the greatest neighborhood.
No.
But I don't worry about my doors being locked because nobody comes near my house. People walk across the street when they hear my dogs, and if they seen my dogs, they wouldn't be that like upset, or it wouldn't scare them because we only have the 3, but the mixes, they're tiny, they're little guys. I mean, like lap dogs almost. And then my female, the Pit Shar-Pei, she's quite large, but she'll hide underneath the table and bark from there.
Isn't that true with sometimes with the bigger the dog, and usually the small dogs have like that Napoleon complex where they're just kind of like, I'm so much bigger. This is how it's like, this is my size. This is what I actually imagine myself as.
Yeah.
For us, ours imagines are, I think Rocky imagines himself as like a big ass like dire wolf.
Oh yeah, he is. It's funny too. Like we'll bring him to the dog park, and they have the separations. Small dogs, big dogs, and we're like, all right, well, we're gonna go put you on the small dog side, and he'll like look at the other small dogs and be like, whatever, and he'll go right over to the fence and want to go play with the big dogs. Yeah. And he'll go over okay, dude. And he'll go over and he'll walk right up to them and be like, what's up?
And some of them freak out. They're like,
come on. He's like, you don't ever give me hugs. What is going on? There we go. This is Mickey. He's the baby. He'll show you where everything is in the house if you break in.
Yeah.
Like, just give me attention.
See if I can get yours. This one's ours.
That one's ours.
He's cute.
Yeah. Like I said.
Okay, you can go lay back down now. No.
Okay. Oh, look at how sweet he looks. Oh.
He loves giving hugs. It's his favorite thing to do. My daughter taught him how to give hugs.
No, my brother and family used to have a puggle, and oh my god, I always loved that little guy. And
his dad was a puggle.
Oh, look at that face. Yeah, I could see the puggle, but I could also see the other mixes too, especially the Shar-Pei.
Yeah. Okay. He's got I got a bed in here for him and my other dog that comes in here during the day. And so he goes back over there.
No, ours likes to sleep in the same bed with us, but sometimes, we kind of have to put him down because, he's so small that he can't jump off the bed. So we're kind of like, okay.
Right.
Unfortunately, he doesn't try to be a bedwetter, but he is. It is what it is.
That and he won't stop giving you kisses in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
He'll just come up to you and be like, hi, kiss. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like,
my other dog Diesel does that. He does that when he needs to go outside. He will wake you up and he will not leave you alone until you get up and take him outside.
Now, the worst part with him in the bed is that if I roll over to like snuggle with her, as soon as I put my arm around her or get close to her, he comes running up and he will force himself in between us.
Yeah.
He will start kissing her and kissing me until I back off, and then he'll walk away. Like, all right, no hanky panky, you two.
Yeah.
And he'll go lay back down. And then I come back close to her again. He comes right up again, does the same thing. He's like, hey,
No, he's
can't do this.
I think he always wants the attention. That's really what it is. And, you know, Chihuahuas tend to be, they're very loyal to at least one owner. So
Right.
I'm just the lucky one, I guess. But I also think it's because I'm the one that feeds him the most. That's probably the reason. I'm more nurturing.
My other dog used to be my dog, and then my wife started spoiling him. And now if she's here or around, he won't listen to me. And prior to this, I had him trained where I could put a treat in my hand and hold my hand out, and he would just look at it until I told him he could have it. And that's all out the window now.
Oh, yeah. That's him. Like when she leaves, because I work nights, so I come home in the morning and then she leaves to go to work. And when I'm home, he snuggles right up to me, you know, hugs, kisses, everything. And then as soon as he hears the door open and her come in, it's like, fuck you, Dad. And he runs to her. And I'm like, the hell, buddy? And he's like, I don't need you now. Mom's home.
As soon as the wife gets home, he's at my door like, let me out. Let me out. I know she's here. She gives me treats. Oh, man.
And then there's just some dogs that, you know, since you have multiple, I'm sure like there's some that are just so attached to you. And then there might be some that are just so attached to her, right?
Yep. And the one that you saw is actually my daughter's dog. She's now in college, and this is her second year. She's a sophomore, and she lives on campus. So when she's not here, he is a whiny ass little, like seriously. And that's why he was at my door, because everybody's gone to their rooms and stuff, and he's good Lord. That was Mickey's dad. I don't know. Can you guys see the comment on the screen?
Rest in peace, Tanner.
Yeah, Tanner was my puggle. He passed about a year ago, a little over a year ago.
I see people are asking questions. Effin Dave.
Yeah, I sent him the link to the Fund My Comic. He was asking if it was because on Indiegogo it didn't look like it was.
It was funded. The book's happening. Indiegogo. When you fund when you sign up to use the crowdfunding sites, you can set up two different types of funding. You can either do keep it all, where if you don't meet your funding, you still get your money. Or you can set it up to where if you don't meet your funding, you get no money. So I set it up where no matter what, I get my money. Indiegogo was the only campaign that actually did not sell well. It only did like $300. But on Kickstarter, it did almost $1,300. And right now on Fund My Comics, we're $25 short of 1,000.
Oh, really? So we've gotten. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got another backer since we started.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you know, it's weird. Like I don't get it, but I do get it because I do the same thing. I mean, sales come through the roof. Buyers come out of the woodworks on last day, especially last minute sales. Like they really do, because I know I do it.
Yeah.
When I back books, I'll sign up for the emails and I'll have it saved and it'll be like, 30 days. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I got 30 days. I got plenty of time.
Right.
10 days left. I still got plenty of time. And then it's like 4 hours left. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot.
Yeah, I made a spreadsheet and trying to track everything, so I'm making sure that I'm getting the ones I wanted. I finally had to scrap that idea and just settle on if I'm gonna back it, I need to back it or walk away because there's so many good comics coming out right now in the indie scene. So it's been really hard. And my wife gives me crap. She's like you need more money for comic books. I'm like, I do. She's even got me working a second job. So I'm like, hey, whatever. Tattoos and comic books. That's what my second job pays for.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's
Right?
nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
and tabletop games, right, Dave? F and Dave.
Yeah.
Me and him play Warhammer and stuff.
Games. I never got really big. I used to love to paint Warhammer. I never got into playing it, but I used to love painting them.
I print them.
What?
I print them.
Oh, that's
you have a 3D printer?
I have 4 resin printers and an FDM printer.
Wow. Cool. Now, do you have the program to design stuff too, or?
I do, but I don't know how to do it. It's not easy. It's not easy.
I've heard a lot of people tell me it's not easy.
Because I originally
I was actually going to print out a little 4-inch miniature to sell with this campaign of Rogue. But when people started telling me the prices just to design it, and I was like, they're like, well, it'll be, $700. I'm like, oh, well, that's like, okay, well, what size is the miniature? They're like, no, that's to design it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but here's the picture that I want. They're like, I have to make a 3D model of it on the program first. Like, that takes so much time to do everything. They're like,
were you talking to Whiskey by chance?
I think I was.
He's from fundmycomic. He's on their Discord, and he's the one who likes to. I don't know where I put it, but he advertises that he does the 3D modeling and stuff, and that's who I talked to because I needed a model made for.
Is that your dog in the background?
Yes. Our dog does something similar too. Whenever he's whining, like even right now, he's like right in the middle of us, just kind of always barking. He's actually
Mickey. Hey, come here.
Here's your dog, so he's gonna start barking soon.
But
this little guy.
I talked to Whiskey about it, and he was like, "It's gonna take like 7-8 weeks, and it's gonna cost you $700, maybe more." And I'm like, "Holy crap!" Like, I don't need it that bad. It was for a private project for just me. I was like, "Nope."
I was gonna have a little miniature printed to do this, but finding out the price and then how much it was going to be per model, I was just like, I'll hold off on that idea.
Yeah. That's why like some of them do those standees, which are kind of like a piece of plastic with a sticker on it.
Yeah.
They've done some of those. Those are a little bit better when it comes to cost efficiency, but they're not as cool as the 3D.
No, they're not. I mean, I would love to do one, but like I got told the same thing. They're like, because I was going to print them out I was actually going to print them out to either sell on the campaign, and also I wanted one, and I was going to give one to my artist and give one to Lynn and give one to like everybody who worked on the project as like a big thank you. And then they were like, well, it'll cost you $1,000 to design it. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and then it'll cost you it'll cost you another $100 to print each one. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, let's think of another one. I'm like,
that's crazy. They were going to charge you $100 a model?
Yeah, something like that. I was like, but then they were like, well, if you do like 3, it'll be like, if you do like 3, it'll be this price. If you do more, it'll be this price. I was like, okay. I was like, I just don't have the funds for this right now. I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Put everything into this book. I'm like, I'm broke. But yeah, I did it on 3 sites when I ran this book: Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and fundmycomics. Fundmycomics was the only one that I extended, and it paid out, and I'm glad I did. And again, as doing this for my first time, I didn't know what platform was going to work better. I saw books do really good. I saw some books do amazing on Indiegogo. Some books do amazing on Kickstarter, and Fund My Comics was just starting up, and I was like, well, it sounds like a cool site. It sounds like it's something different. I was like, I'll definitely give it a shot. So
Yeah.
I ran all three. I ran them all at the same time. Some people, advised me against doing that, and they were like, well, you should have ran Indiegogo, done that campaign, then done Kickstarter, then done Fund My Comics. I was like, yeah, but if I do that, then I'm doing 3 different sets of prints. I says, and printing prices are based on on quantity. I was like, so if I only sell 10 copies of something, I'm paying $10. I was like, but then in the next campaign, if I sell another 20, if I sell 20 of them, I says, I'm going to pay a different price. I was like, and I don't want to make the people who bought on the first campaign like, well, you just bought your book, but now you have to wait 3 months until I finish my campaigns. And I didn't want to be that kind of creator.
Right.
One of the main things I told Kitty when we first started this project was I wanted the book done, either 90% done or fully done before we went to launch.
And that's a good thing to do.
I said, I do not want to be, these creators that keep their campaigns open for 5, 6, 7 years. And, people start getting pissed where they're like, dude, where the hell is my book? Like, it's been 4 years. I'm like, why am I waiting 4 years for you to finish this book? Oh, well, something came up. Oh, well, I'm like, no, like, dude, finish the book, then put it up.
Right.
And plus, as a first time creator, I didn't want people being hesitant going, so is it going to take you forever to finish this book? Are you going to mismanage your funds and accidentally spend too much and not have enough for printing and then just say the whole book's canceled and keep all our money? Because believe me, I've probably lost about, I want to say I've probably lost close to about $200 to $300 in campaigns, from books. Just I mismanaged all the money, and there's nothing left, and I don't have enough money to print the book, and so I'm canceling it. By the way, you're not getting back any of your money because I spent it all already.
Yeah.
So
See, I see that there's a lot of 2 sides to it. There's that, and then there's the creators who are opening their campaigns before the first book or first page is even illustrated.
Yeah,
and then you're like 6 months in waiting for them to finish illustrating and writing the book.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. Like for those campaigns, I don't even bother anymore. Or I'll wait until they post and say, okay, closing out tomorrow, final, books done, going to printers tomorrow, campaign closing out. I'm like, okay, now I'll buy it. I'm like, I'm not, because you've had this thing open for 6 years.
Right.
And I just did not want to be that creator, because as a consumer first, I was like, well, I don't like being treated like that. So I didn't want to treat people like that either. I wanted to make sure I wasn't that kind of creator.
Yeah. See, and that's a good thing. I like that because it just makes sense to me that you would want your book almost completely finished before launching your campaign. That way people come into your campaign and they know they're going to get their book. There's no guesswork to it, and it makes it them more comfortable in backing. So
yeah, it really does. It helps ease that mind. I mean, like I know people that, I mean, when I usually buy, when I back a campaign, I mean, I usually just buy the standard edition book, unless there's a really cool cover that I'm like, okay, it's extra $20, it's an extra $15. I'm a geek, I gotta have that cover. But I mean, I know the people that, buy like, the big bundles, like, buy the original artwork and, get drawn in the book and get paid, like
original artwork would depend on who the artist is.
Yeah.
Like there was a book that Kelsey Shannon, his scribbles, I think is what it was called. It was his sketchbook, and one of the pieces of art he had was a character from that cartoon Brave Star.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I want that, but it was $300. I was like, oh, my wife would shoot me if she thought I spent $300 on a sketch. She'd be like, hell no.
Yeah, I was a little intimidated and afraid to tell her when I had Tim Vigil do that cover for me.
I want that
because it came in the mail and she was like, "Oh, this came in." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's here!" She's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just you know, it's just something for the book." She's like, "Oh, let me see." I'm like, "No.
Can you see mine?"
And then I think his first thing was like, "Whatever you do, don't put this down near Rocky because he'll rip it to shreds."
Can you see mine on my camera?
What?
My poster?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh, yeah.
I got my printers are on the table because they're running right now, so they're in front of it. But yeah, I had my buddy print that off for me. It's a 24 by 36.
Oh, nice.
I was like, dude, when I saw that cover, I'm like, I gotta have that cover.
I was just shocked of how laid back Tim Vigil was. Like, I asked like a lot of big names on Twitter to do a cover for me because I was like, well, you're a big, you know, I asked a lot of people, and most of them didn't even bother returning a message, wouldn't even acknowledge me. And you know, people were like, oh, well, you have to understand, you know, they have to be careful who they put their name on, what covers they put their names on. You know, I'm like, no, I don't have to understand that. I was like, I'm asking them. I'm like, I bought like the last 3 of their books. I'm like, I've been a fan of theirs since the 80s. I was like, I asked them to do a cover. I was like, I'm like, that's all. I'm like, it's not, it's
at least
not,
a response, right?
Yeah. I'm like, or at least a response and talk to me. And I found Tim Vigil doesn't do Twitter. He's on he's on Instagram, which was shocking, but he does not do Twitter. And
yeah, I had to go look at his stuff because the name was familiar, but I couldn't remember where I'd seen it. And then I started looking at his work, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember.
And I found his website, and you know, he had a commission icon, and I was like, he's never even going to acknowledge me. I was like, there's no way he's going to do a cover for the first time independent comic book. I was like, there's no way he's going to do it. And I just messaged him, and I sounded like a complete groupie in the email. I mean, I swear to God, it was the most groupiest. I'm like, I love your work. I'm like, I have been a fan of yours since ever. I've bought in all your stuff. I have everything that you've ever done. I'm like, you are one of the most amazing artists. I met you at a convention like 20 years ago. I was like, I'm ready my first comic book. Would you possibly do a cover for me? And I was like, he's never going to respond to me. And it was about 3 days later, and he emailed me back, and he was like, tell me about your book and show me your character. And I told him what the book was about. I sent him a whole bunch of pictures. He messaged me back. He was like, dude, he's like, your character's booty badass. He's like, this sounds awesome. He's like, I'll do a cover for you. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. He's like, oh my God. And, you know, I was not going to tell Tim Vigil what to do. And he was like, I'm going to draw your character subduing a person with her ass on his face. And I'm like, well, that's actually not the most shocking thing you could do. I'm like, I'm actually grateful. Because I mean, if you look at the covers of Faust, Love of the Damned, I mean, it's pretty graphic. So
I have an STL to print Faust. a 3D model on them. I have it sitting on my computer ready to go. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the covers he did, or just the artwork he did in those, you're like,
yeah,
dude, you're disturbed. Like, he did a Batman book, right?
No. Oh yeah.
He did a Batman book. It's fully done, and he'll never release it.
Right, because doesn't Batman kill in that one?
Yeah, he like kills. He has sex with like
with Harley.
Like it's
yeah.
Everything. And like he wrote it, he drew it, and he was like, I'm never submitting this to DC Comics, and I'm never gonna ask to print it. It's mine and mine alone. And I'm just sitting there, like, especially in today's world where DC now has their black label, I'm like, do it. Just do it.
Right?
You'll piss off so many people,
what he needs
but
to do
is still be worth it.
He needs to publish it as fan art and give it away.
Yeah. What, you want attention? Okay. But yeah, and then he did the cover for me. He mailed me the original. I was more than excited about having that, and it was awesome. It was funny because when I finally got it, I called my best friend over, and I was like, "Dude," I was like, "You want to see it?" He's like, yeah. And like, I was pulling it out of like the mail, out of like the envelope, and I swear you could hear like the Holy Grail music coming. You're like, oh, and he like went. I'm like, don't fucking touch it.
Look with your eyes, man. With your
eyes. Don't touch it.
I'm like that with Dale Keown's where, like every time he touches a cover, I'm like, I throw money at it. Like Mandy Summers has got that Gem Shock that she did, and I didn't even care about the book. I just saw there was a Dale Keown cover and was like, give it to me.
I was the same way. I was like, yeah, Gem Shock, yeah, cool, damn cool.
She put out some more pages. It looks like he's doing some internals, and Pitt's actually in the book.
Yeah, he's doing he actually is doing a 8-page Pitt story in it.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason I bought it. That's the only reason I bought it. I'm like, I really don't care about this. I'm like, I just want that.
On my wall over here, I have a first print Pitt #1 in a case on the wall.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I got it on Etsy for like $8. I was like, yes, please.
Oh, dude, like I remember when Pitt came out. I mean, that thing blew up. Like issues 1 through 4, it was just like you couldn't find them anywhere.
I even got the rare half issue. It's the number is just 1/2.
Yep, when Wizard used to do that stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
I miss Wizard doing. I miss Wizard doing that stuff when they would do like, hey, this is 1.5. This is an exclusive book, only and it only costs and it only was like $5 to order. Like it was like nothing.
And see, that half issue I got, I didn't even find it. A guy I know that runs a comic book store, he's a buddy of mine. He calls me up. He's like, dude, I got something for you. You need to come in. I'm like, all right. And he just hands it to me. He goes, I found it in the bottom of a box of books I just bought at a second hand. I was like, what? I was like, this thing is super rare. He was like, yeah, I know. I'm like, so what do you want for it? He goes, no, you just have it. I was like, you're awesome.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I everybody has that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one of my favorite things about going to flea market and stuff is looking through the bins and just be like, okay, are you a stupid buyer by any chance and don't know what you have, or are you smart? I'm like, please be a stupid buyer.
Right.
What was it? Somebody posted like a few months ago. I think it was on Twitter or Instagram. I forget which one. And they found a Generation 1 Optimus Prime.
Oh.
The full everything. The trailer, all the parts to it, everything. Nice. And they found it at a Goodwill for $5. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
There's a party store by where I used to live. I lived there about 7 years ago. And he would buy houses, and then when he'd find stuff, he'd just sell it in the party store like secondhand. Walked in there, and not kidding you, he had a full Castle Grayskull with
Oh my
He-Man
God.
and Battle Cat, and he had a $5 sticker on it. I was like, "You know what you got here?" He goes, "I don't care. I need it out of here." And I'm like, "Here's your $5. Thank you very much."
Thank you. I'm just gonna shut up now. I'm gonna go.
Yep. I got that. That's all packed up in my garage, except for He-Man and Battle Cat. They sit on the shelf over here with my other stuff. But the Castle Grayskull, I packed that up. Put that away.
She got me last year for Christmas, and well, no, it was our first Christmas. It was our first Christmas together, and she bought me the retro. It was the reprint, but it was still in the original box. The original Optimus Prime.
Oh, nice.
And I forget. I don't even remember what else she bought me for Christmas. I just remember that one.
Yeah,
gift.
That's like the first thing he remembers.
It's the only thing I remember. And she was like handing it to me, and she's like having this. I'm like, she's like, I hope you like it. She's like, I don't know if you're gonna like that or not. I was like, seriously? She's like, yeah, I don't know if you. I don't know. And I screamed like a little girl. I was like, oh my God, oh my God.
Been there.
And like I called up my best friend. I was like, guess what my girl bought me for Christmas? Like, and you can hear him on the phone yelling at his wife. He goes, how come you don't buy me cool stuff like that?
That's awesome.
And then our second year for Christmas.
Or no, it was your birthday.
And it was my birthday. She bought me the they just came out with it. The G.I. Joe Transformer combination. There was the his tank that transformed into Megatron.
Okay.
And she bought me that for Christmas for my birthday. And I'm like, oh my God.
There's other sentimental gifts I've gotten him, and I thought those were going to be very sentimental, but apparently those were
like nope.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the way to a nerd's heart, right?
Oh yeah, she learned very fast.
Hey, what's up, K-pop?
Hey, Kitty, you're finally here.
K-pop junkie just showed up in chat.
Oh, K-pop, she's there. She's awesome. I came on her show a few weeks, about a month ago. I had a blast on her show. She is awesome.
Yeah, ever since you were on her show, I subbed and started watching her show because her show is great.
Oh yeah, she's hysterical. Her fans are funny too. Chris is here. Vengeance. He did Vengeance Productions. He did all the logos for Rogue. He came up with all the logos for the comics. Kitty's here. About time you woke up.
Hey, what's up, Kitty?
Is he having issues with his mic?
Might just take a while.
Might take a while. Yeah. But yeah, Chris, he did all the logos for the comics. We became very, very good friends. Awesome guy. Good friend. But yeah, we're counting down the finals. I think there's only like a few hours left. I think
we got 1 hour left.
1 hour left on the campaign, everybody.
Yep, 1 hour. Let's play this trailer again. We got a few different new people in the thing, so let's see if I can do this without totally messing it up.
Should have brought the Wolverine sketch.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, I think it's just finished.
Yeah, there's 1 hour left. I need literally $21 to break 1,000.
Yeah, that trailer's awesome.
It was fun to make. It was a ton of fun to make. I mean, I'll tell you, I think I've told everybody this. This whole process has been an absolute blast. Like, anybody who thinks about doing this or wants to do it, just do it. You will have an absolute blast doing this. You'll have your ups and downs. You will meet your assholes. I met plenty of them. I think I've blocked more people than I've ever blocked before in my life. Don't engage with them. Just block. It's just, don't even waste your time. But if you surround yourself with good people and people that actually care about the project, people who put their heart and soul into it just as much as you do, who put that dedication into it that you do. If you surround yourself with people like that, you will have an amazing campaign. You will have a successful campaign, and you will have all the support you need, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I had a talk with Kitty about like a month ago, because I had hit a slump with sales. Sales were not going anywhere. Nobody was buying for it was like 2 weeks, and nobody was buying the book. Like, nobody was. I was posting and posting and posting, and I couldn't get anybody to buy. And the total amount of sales was only between all three websites was only like $1,200. I was like, dude, I can't even print this book. I was like, I don't even have enough copies to print. I was like, it's going to cost me more money to print this book than what I actually have. And I messaged him, and we had a very long phone call. And I actually told him that I was going to call it quits on this project. I was going to pull the plug and cancel everything, send everybody's money back, and I was going to give the book to him and be like, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can try printing it again. You can run it for free. You can, do what you want. So I'm going to wash my hands of this project, and it's all yours. And we had a very long conversation, and he ended up really getting through to me and convincing me to not pull the plug on this. And then so did my fiance. I had a very long conversation with her, and she was also she has been more than supportive through this whole fucking project with me. I love it.
That's good. That's really good.
But if you surround yourself with people like that actually care about the project, you will have a successful one, no matter what. And it is the most fun I've ever had doing something. It honestly is. It was so much fun. I've met so many great people, just amazing people that just offered free help. I was messaging. Creators were messaging me, and they were just like, "Hey, anytime you need something, just ask." And I would be messaging them, 3 a.m, 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, "Hey guys, if you're not busy, got a question." I'm like, "How do I do this?" They're like, "Oh yeah, no problem, man." I'm like, "Sorry if I'm bothering you." They're like, "It's not a bother, man." They're like, "You're a creator. You're one of us now. We're gonna help and support you. It's that's how this works." And then just so many people. It was just so much fun. Yeah, it really, really was. And I really can't wait to start book 2. I honestly cannot wait. It was funny too, because while Kitty was drawing this, I was already going over with him things about book 2. And he's like, "Dude, will you let me finish the first book before you even start on the second?" He's like, "Can I finish this yet?" I'm like, "Okay, dude." I'm like, "I'm just going over details with you." He's like, "Don't."
They're gonna slip into book 1.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't." He's like, "Let me finish this, then we'll talk." I was like, "Okay, but can I tell you my idea?" He goes, "No."
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was so much fun. It really was. You know, you're gonna have your ups and your downs, but if you surround yourself with like people who will put in the same dedication as you do, and people will see that if you put in the dedication, the time, the effort into this, um, you'll find the people that will match that, and they will support you in everything, and you'll have an absolute blast, and you'll meet a lot of great people. Like you really will. Like I just can't emphasize that enough. Um, like I just really can't. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
And she tolerated a lot. She did. She tolerated a lot.
Well, and I have to give Kitty some credit too, just because I know he having Dave go through his rewrites.
Oh my god, the rewrites were horrible.
I mean,
because
I don't know if Kitty's on right now. I know
he says he's having a mic issue. I think.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would send Kitty the version, and I would email it to him. I says, "Okay, dude, comics all done. Here you go. It's this is all yours now." He's like, "Okay," and then like 2 days later, I'm emailing him back. I'm like, "Oh, dude, by the way, I totally changed page 40 around. I totally changed it. I didn't like it, so I redid it. Here's the new version." He's like, "Okay, no problems." 4 days later, I'm like, "Oh, dude, by the way, I rewrote page 40 again, and I added this page on, and I redid this page. Here you go." I did that to him 8 times, and finally he was like, "Okay, I'm not going to start drawing until you tell me you're done." Once you tell me you're done, I'm going to take that final script and I'm going to start drawing. So don't tell me you rewrote it. I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "I promise. I'll stop." But it was just every day I'd be reading something and I would be like, "Nah, that doesn't sound right." And I'll tell you, not only did Elon really help me develop the story, it was her that helped me develop the story, because by her reading it to me at night and like hearing back what I wrote, it really helped me like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound badass enough. That sounded stupid."
I think a lot of times we were just kind of like, "This doesn't really sound like Rogue."
No,
I don't know why. I was like, I don't know if it's just my interpretation. And I'm sure when people read it, you know, they'll have their own voice that goes through their head, or I don't know if some people just read it just as is, whatever way people bring out a comic, and a graphic novel. But I always have some type of voice in my head, whether it's an actor or an actress, or I make up my own my own voice in my head at the end of the day for something like that. And he liked it, I guess, and so I kind of went with it. But I think with how many times he tried to rewrite it, I was like, "Okay, you gotta." I was like, "You gotta take a step back here and try not to overdo it or send every edit that you make," because I was like, Kitty's gonna end up canceling you after a certain point.
He was definitely getting pissed. He was definitely getting aggravated. I'm like, "Sorry, dude." But
but I'm really so proud of what they created. Like I said, as a storyteller and as an artist, like I said, Kitty's amazing. I think you guys are going to be really excited to see what they came out with, and it's just awesome so far. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, she helped me a lot with the one-liners.
Little dialogue.
She definitely came up with a lot of the one-liners that are in there. So here'd be the real challenge when you read the book. Find all the homage quotes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of homage. I took direct quotes from movies that I loved growing up with. And there's a lot of them in there. So that'll be the fun part. Is finding all the homage quotes. You'll be reading going, "I know that line."
So,
and it was weird too, like with Kitty, because Kitty's from overseas in Europe. So like there would be like Western slang, and he'd be like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a Western thing.
Yeah.
Because yeah, but it still doesn't make sense. I'm like, I know it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it either. But that's just the way they say it. I'm like, so just go with it.
And I think that's how a lot of movies.
This scene right here.
Yep.
When I read it, that's what sold me on the book.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's actually one of my favorite pages that he did. That's just one of my favorite pages he did, because it just came out. And the amazing thing is that this is his first book too.
Really?
This is his first comic. He's never done one before. So when he came up with these page layouts, I was just blown away. Just absolutely blown away. We definitely ran into some issues when
we can hear you, Kitty.
You can?
We got you? There you are.
Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's almost 3 a.m. It was a bit tricky to figure this out now.
I heard you sigh. I was like, wait, we got sound.
Perfect.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, I suppose.
Aloha.
Perfect.
No, I was just telling him about all the joys of fun that I put you through while doing this book.
Oh yeah, I heard what you said. I was just unable to add my sense to it.
Yeah.
I think the best, the two best was when you looked up the hotel at Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah.
Because there's one part in the book where Rogue is going to look for Chad, and I didn't look at any pictures. All I Googled was best, top hotel in New York City, and it gave me the name of the top biggest hotel there was in New York City. I was like, okay, that's the one I'm going to use, and that's the name and that's the hotel I used. So when I gave him the script and he actually Googles what the hotel looks like, I get a message from him going, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Did you even look at this hotel?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Well, how'd you find it?" He goes, "Google." He goes, and it was like this massive window hotel. I'm like, "Oh wow, that's gonna suck, dude."
Yeah, it did suck.
And then, and then again, I used Madison Square Garden. And he was like, "Why did you use Madison Square Garden?" I'm like, because it's the most iconic.
Because everybody's going to know exactly what you're talking about when they read it.
Right. I was like, everybody knows what Madison Square Garden is. I'm like, it's the most iconic arena there is. He goes, "Have you ever seen a picture of it?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "God, I hate you." I'm like, "Sorry, dude."
Well, at least it was only those two.
Yeah. He was not happy with me for like a day.
Yeah, I mean it was bound to happen that we had some let's say environmental panels. So it could have been worse. I suppose.
And I think the first draft I sent to you when I had it written in comic form, and the first, like I said, my first time ever doing this. So I'm looking at all my comics. I'm counting how many panels they have on each page, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, I have 5 panels, 7 panels. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm writing in the comic form. I'm like panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 panels, 9 panels, and he gets. I said it to him. I think within like 10 minutes, he messaged me back. He goes, "No, I cannot do 9 panels on one page. No, you can't do this." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yes, really."
Yeah, especially because you had a lot of text per
right,
panel.
and then I would have like 9 panels with like, 15 lines of dialogue. He's like, no. I'm like, Oh, okay. Well, I'll get back to you in a couple of days, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think when he wrote it, it felt more like, I mean, it was a story, but it felt like a script way, I guess.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
was more like a movie script.
Yeah, because again, never doing this before.
Right.
I didn't even know how to write in comic book form. I had
Right.
no idea how to do that. I actually had to have Elon explain it to me what it was. But when I first wrote the story, I wrote it like a regular story.
Yeah.
Because I had to write it first, then convert it to comic book form, because I didn't know what page what was going to be on, and how I wanted words broken down, or anything. So that was a little bit of the challenge. And definitely learned. I definitely learned a lot.
Yeah, Eric Weathers has some videos on YouTube on how to letter a comic, and after watching them, I was looking at some of these other comics and scripts, and I'm going, wow, they need to watch some videos on how to letter, because their dialogue is way too much for what's going to fit in one page.
Yeah. The number one advice Elon gave me when I was writing this was, less is more. The less you say is actually even better. That was one of the major key things that I learned, was getting your point across in as few and as little words as possible, so you could have big panels with images and everything of that nature, which is really hard for me because I have a big mouth.
Right.
It's an understatement.
I do. But yeah, we are marching down. It's now, I think we are at the last
45 minutes to go.
45 more minutes to go. $20 away from hitting $1,000, people.
Right?
$20.
Oh man.
Well, 21. Well, actually, $21 will put us at 1,000. Again, I can't thank everybody enough who worked on this book, who has retweeted about this book. You guys are the best. If I could fly to thank everybody personally, I would. It really means a lot to me to watch people be this enthusiastic, or actually care this much about this project. So it really, really does mean a lot to me. And I hope everybody really knows that.
Yeah. It's good work. It's good work. I'm definitely excited about getting my copy and seeing what comes next in the next book. So
yeah, I have the story written in parts of it written in my head. So lots of shockers, lots of turning events. And hopefully if this continues to grow and continues to go, then I'm just going to keep going with this and create more characters, and keep doing this until the wheels fall off.
So when you get your physical copies, any plans to do any conventions?
Well, actually, since you spoke of that, over on Kickstarter, there is somebody is trying to start up the very first indie comic convention, and it's going to be. I'm from Connecticut, and it's actually going to be in Connecticut.
Oh, nice.
It's only I think it's only like $50 away from being fully funded. So I already backed it, which is buying a ticket for it, and I filled out the application to get a table there as well, and
Nice.
it'll be in 2024. So if it goes through, this will be my first convention. And
That would
then
be awesome.
and then I'll have some extra books. I might do a little like there's always a bunch of like little comic conventions, like just like there's one every weekend where I live, where
Yeah.
we live. And it's just your local comic book store guys coming out, setting up booths, bringing their stuff. And there was actually like one or two indie guys there too, like selling their stuff. And I'm like, I'll probably do this myself and maybe come here on a Saturday or a Sunday that I have off and rent out a table and try to sell some extra books. I mean, I would definitely do it. It would definitely be fun and amazing to do.
That's a good way to get your book out too.
Great, man, but not too long, dude, because we're gonna start working on book 2 right away, man. I'm gonna need new costumes. I'm gonna need new costume designs, new character designs. So don't make any too big of plans. Don't hurt your
Hey,
hand.
if you tell me enough in advance, then I'll make time for that.
And Kitty, I promise I'll check his spelling beforehand.
Oh, that's very good. Thank you. That I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
As a native German-speaking person, it's quite weird to have to correct an American on English.
Oh my god.
Listen, fat fingers and small keyboards do not mix. All right. Neither does having ADD, dyslexia, and whatever other issues I have.
Oh god.
Yeah, I feel you.
Stop chewing on everything. Say hi to everyone.
Awesome.
Say bye, my book.
See.
Oh, yes. Oh. But yeah, I mean, everything is doing really well. I just can't. I mean, I did not have, and it's not that I didn't believe in the story or the book. I just didn't have high expectations. Like I really didn't, because I was like, I'm a first time creator, and I have, at the time, I think I had like, maybe like 1,200 followers, and like, 200 of them are bots.
Right.
I don't know how this is gonna go, and I busted my ass. I was messaging people, asking people, YouTubers, everybody, in the world, and I met a lot of great people, just like yourself, who, I'm like, listen, I'm a first time creator. I really could use some help, and people like the Common Nerd, Miss 1776, Ropey Box, Hail the Lord, who actually got me on the Common Nerd. I met him, and he was like, I'm the producer of a show. I'll talk to them. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's an awesome guy. The guys on Hail the Lord, the guys on the Common Nerd, those guys are awesome. A Drink with Crazy, he gave me like 3 shout outs on his show. He is absolutely amazing and a true indie comic supporter, one of the best indie comic supporters that there are. If you ever need anything, ask him. He is more than willing to help people and give shouts out. He is absolutely amazing. People like yourself who, I was just like, well, I got a script. You want to read it? Sure. So I'm grateful to all of you, to all these, to everybody who let me on their shows, who give me that chance.
So I got a question for you and Kitty both. Which one of you guys came up with this physical design of Rogue? Like this right here.
Well, that
how did you come up with that?
Well, that was written in the story. Now, did you read up to that part or no?
No.
Okay, well, that part is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
So I can't say much without giving away spoilers. But it was a scene that was written just like that in the script, and and Kitty just Kitty just went with it. One of the main
Yeah, I remember that scene because she takes off her jacket there.
Yep.
And I remember getting a bit mad because I designed her with the jacket and I like drawing that jacket.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Oh no, she won't be putting it on for the rest of the comic book anymore." It's like, what the fuck did I design it for then?
Yeah, there was a couple of things that Kitty got mad about that. And then there was a couple characters that Kitty designed, and he designed this one character. He like made it perfect, and it was awesome. And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, they died within the first like couple pages of the book." He's like, "What?
Mhm.
I spent like 2 hours designing this character." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry, dude."
Yeah, I didn't realize it while reading the script. It didn't really. It wasn't really in there that character would die.
He's like,
Oh, I thought.
I'm like, sorry, dude.
Yeah. Whatever. It was still fun designing it.
It was a very unique take on the female form, and I freaking
Oh yeah.
love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. That panel that you showed there specifically, that was. I'm one of those people, like when I find cool references in comic books or anywhere else, I just screenshot it immediately and then it sits on my hard drive for a few months until I find use for it. And that panel there was one of those cases where I had the screenshot.
Yeah, I think that was
at some point. Huh?
I think that was like one of the first or like couple panels like you drew.
I honestly do not remember.
I think that was one. I think that was one of like the first like panels you drew because you were just you were so excited to draw that panel.
Yeah, I remember it definitely was not like that in the sketch. In the sketch, it had a different pose, but it wasn't really dynamic enough. And I thought, I don't know. I mean, the point is she's stripping down, so I want to show it a bit better, you know. So I tried using that reference that I had. I don't even remember what the reference was or where I got it from.
I don't remember either. It's all blurry to me after a while.
Yeah, it's been so long. And now there's only like half an hour of it left. And Jesus, where's all the time?
We're I was telling Ronan, we're down to we have the last like 10 pages left to finish going over last minute editing and just spell checking and a little bit of dialogue. We're down to the last like 10 pages, and then it goes back to Kitty just to quickly do
corrections,
minor edits.
Yeah, minor edits on the lettering.
Yeah, there's still also some minor things that I want to go over real quick, like things like consistency with blood and wounds. I haven't checked that yet.
Yeah, see, you know how we were talking before about we're own worst enemy for writing. Yeah, artists are the same way. Yeah. You know, he's showing me panels when he was done. I'm like, oh, dude, that's perfect. He'd be like, oh, that's horrible. I'm like, that's not consistent with that and that. Do you see that little dot mark in the corner? I'm like, no, dude, no one's gonna see it, dude. It's fine.
This jacket has 3 buttons, and the other one had 4.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always hated when I spot things like that in other projects. Like, come on, that's not that hard to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So I try to be as consistent as possible, which is a bit hard if you're like me, who is still developing as an artist, and then I draw this project over a period of over half a year.
There was a meme, the meme that I sent you about the artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll see if I can find it, and I'll send.
Yeah, but you know, if I draw things and then continue to draw, and then I look at things from 3 months ago, I'm like, I can do that so much better.
Somebody made a meme from the Orange County Choppers, and it's the father and the son yelling at each other, and it's the father starts off with, I'm going to draw a background, and it's the son, and then they have the son saying, you don't need to draw a background, you're just wasting time. No one's going to notice. And he's like, I'm going to notice. He goes, I'm going to notice. And I said it to him. And I'm like, just remember this.
And I told you we're not doing Robert Liefeld shit here. We're drawing everything.
I'm gonna send this to the group chat and see if you could pin this up. Let me find it again. Yeah, I kept referring to him. I'm like, dude, don't worry that much about backgrounds. I'm like, look at Rob Liefeld. He made it work for fucking years. You don't need to worry about it. Like, you don't need to worry about drawing feet. He did it for years. He's still good, and it still works.
Yeah, but now in retrospective, I think you're probably glad that those backgrounds are.
Yes, I am, of course, but you know.
Oh, and I've shown it to people in my class, and they all love it too. So, I even got a compliment today from one of my classmates.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, every show that I've been on, and everybody who I've shown your artwork to, is blown away by just how amazing it is. Like, in all honesty, and that's not me trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything like that. Everybody has said of like how much your artwork is just amazing. I put the meme in the chat group. I don't know if you could pull that up to show everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm going to add a background. That was the meme I sent him.
I think you sent that to me 4 or 5 times in total.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever I had a panel with a background, it's like no one's gonna notice. Yeah.
That's
Awesome. Every time
I
he was
know
like,
this.
What did you actually do for a background? I would just send him that and be like, "Will you shut up?" I'm like, "Just say it, dude."
That's
like,
awesome.
Lines work.
You know, and Kitty, since I've been following you on Twitter, I've seen some of your other sketches out, and all your work is pretty damn amazing.
Oh, thank you. Anything that you like specifically?
Yeah, there was I commented on it. I don't remember where it is. I commented on it, the lyrics to Baby Got Back.
Ooh.
What was it? Let's see if I can find it. I don't know, because I got so much in here now. I'm not going to be able to find it.
Don't worry about it. I would probably remember what it was if it wasn't so early or late or whatever we would call it.
Right? Yeah, because it's middle of the night for you, right?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. And I woke up nearly an hour ago after around 3 hours of sleep, because I wasn't sure if I should pull an all-nighter and wait till it starts, or if I should get some hours of sleep. I decided to take the sleep. Tomorrow I will probably thank myself for that decision.
Probably.
Yeah, thank you for the compliments. I really appreciate it.
I could have done the all-nighter when I was in.
That was one of the other hardest things. Everybody who's worked on this project is in different countries. Like I got one, like Sims Harris, he's in like Japan. Lubinson, he's like in Afghanistan or somewhere around like that. Elon's in California, and Kitty's over in Europe. So me trying to remember like time zones where everybody is just like, forget it. Like there were times I would message him and I'm like, oh, hey, dude, I was just wondering. He's like, it's 1 a.m. What do you want? I'm like, oh, sorry, dude.
Yeah, at some point I wouldn't even answer anything. It's like, okay,
he wouldn't even respond
I'm officially off the grid right now, so nah.
Yeah, like I'm just not. I'll respond to him in the morning. But yeah, This has just been an absolute blast. It honestly has. And I'm
Indeed.
I really can't wait to start on book 2.
Hey, give me a call if you need an artist.
Yeah, okay. Dude, if you think you're going anywhere, I hate to tell you, but you're not. So,
So tell me about Rebel Comics.
Well, I mean, this is the first book from the company. I just liked the name. I had Chris design me the logo. I had him do it just like the old Marvel Comics logo that I grew up with. I just wanted, I needed a name of a comic company, something that was cool and something also that represented what people could expect future stories of from down the road. And I like darker books. I always have. I mean, I grew up with your, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and and everything like that books. And then when I got to a teenage years and was like, man, the world sucks. Fuck this shit. And got into Valiant and Chaos Comics and
Heavy Metal.
And all that, Lady Death, Evil Ernie, Bloodshot, Image Comics, enough of the superhero stuff. And that's what I loved. And I still do to this day, So that's what more people can expect. Future books. I have 3 other characters still in the mind of future books of characters. If things go well, I have all the stories written in my head. For stories of a character called Wonder Woman, the Death Rider, and Diabla for future stories, and plus more, and hopefully do also more Rogue.
Nice. Any plans to add other creators?
Pardon me?
Any plans to add other creators under the label?
I wouldn't mind having a background artist. Or an assistant of any kind.
Well, I am in talks with another artist of God, forgetting his Twitter handle and name. Okay, something. I can't think right now. Let me look him. Okay, who also did the stickers.
Sorry about that.
He did the stickers, the sticker bundle for Rogue in this platform. And I'm in talks with him about doing another book called Warrior Woman, and talking with him about trying to get him into doing a book with me because I love his artwork. It's absolutely fantastic, and he's definitely a little intimidated, not too sure about it because he's like, oh, well, we're from overseas. I've never done a real book before. I was like, trust me, you'll do fine. And I was like, just shut up and do it. That's how I was with him. I was like, so you want to do the book, right? He's like, well, yeah, right. I'm like, yeah, good. You're going to do the book. Just shut up. He's like, well, I've never shut up. You do fine.
Yeah, I can confirm it somehow works. If you just start doing it, then it eventually happens.
Yeah. He was like, well, let me think about it. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me send you a script. He's like, okay. Like, so how long does this thing will take you? He's like, well, I don't know if I want to do it. I'm like, so how long is it going to take you? I didn't really ask him to do the book. It was more like, so you're going to do the book, right?
Hey, you have to send me the information of that person. I want to look at that.
Yeah, I'll definitely send you.
Or even better, hook up with them. That sounds
Yeah.
wrong.
Like I said, they did. If you scroll on the campaign, they did the sticker bundle, I believe, on this.
Oh yeah.
On the campaign here. If you can scroll down to the rewards.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm too
He's
tired.
like, I'm doing that tomorrow.
I'm too tired. I don't want to. I don't want to do menu stuff right now. Like the thing with setting up my microphone, that was already way too much for me right now.
But yeah, he did the sticker bundle on here, and he did an amazing job. He did 2 of the perks, also, and I absolutely love his artwork. He's absolutely amazing artist, great guy too, super friendly. If you're looking for an artist, you can go check him out. You can't have Kitty because he's going to be busy, so nobody else. Gonna have his plate.
Well, but then at least keep me actually busy when you're shouting it out like that. Because I don't want to miss out on customers.
Yeah. Don't worry. You know I can keep you busy.
Yeah, you can. Also, too, in hindsight, it actually wasn't that bad. Like there were days where I would think I was stressed, but now I feel like I was fine actually. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I had to yell at him a couple times. I had to yell at him a couple times to take breaks, but you know, he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, dude, take a break. I'm like, have you eaten today? He's like, yeah, I'm fine.
I feel that. When I wrote my first novel, I had a spike in creativity, and I was up for almost 36 hours writing. I just couldn't stop.
I know.
Ooh, that is hard.
I did that too. Like I would be writing, and on my days off, as soon as my fiance would leave to go to work, I'd open the laptop and I would just be like, I'm like, and next thing I know, she'd be coming home like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm still sitting there. And she's like, "Have you been sitting there all day?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Did you feed the dog?" I'm like, "Yeah, I fed him." "How many times?" "Once, right? You just gotta feed him once." She's like, "Oh, fucking Christ." I'm like, "He's fine." Oh, buddy.
Hey, but I made some good experiences with that, because I remember, especially when I started inking, that I was sitting down at my local cafe, to just be able to concentrate better on it. And now the people there know me, and I know some people there, because I was sitting there for a few weeks straight every morning for 5 hours, just drawing that thing.
Like, have you moved? They're like, no.
Yeah, sometimes I tend to go to the bathroom, and back then I was a heavier smoker, so I had an excuse to get up once an hour or something, which you should do.
Yes.
Luckily, I do not have the stamina to work 36 hours once. No
Coffee. Coffee got me through it. In fact, my wife.
That only works till 5 p.m.
She's like, "You already made coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you might want to make some fresh because that's like 3 hours old."
Oh, I have a very, very big and what's it called? I'm missing a word here. It's a very good machine.
Mm.
So K-cups?
Coffee pot?
No. I don't know what to call it. It has a really weird name in German. It's called Vollautomat. It's like an all-in-one thing. I put the beans on top. It grinds it when I want coffee. I only drink espresso. It's completely unnecessary that I have this huge thing with all those features, but I wanted it, and it makes good coffee.
Yeah, I have a coffee bar in my kitchen. It literally, I can make any kind of coffee. I go nuts. Right now, I'm on a cold brew kick. That's all I drink is cold brew right now.
Well, cold brew's good. Well, it was funny when when me and my fiance, we were looking for apartments, and then even when we were house hunting, the first thing I always looked for while we were driving was for a Dunkin' Donuts. If I didn't pass a Dunkin' Donuts, it was nope. We went to look at this one house. It was this beautiful neighborhood, all upscale. And I'm driving, and she could see my face get more pissed off. And she's like,
because there are no donuts.
And she's like, what is your problem? I'm like, what shithole fucking town are we in?
Right?
Dunkin' Donuts here. What is this, crack people? I'm like, what the fuck? She's like,
does Dunkin' Donuts in America actually sell donuts?
Yes.
Because we have it here, but they're not actually selling donuts. They don't have holes. And that always confused me.
Nope, there's no donuts here. Nope.
Okay, yeah.
Wherever there's when we went to look for apartments, when we go to look for houses, I was like, if there's not a Dunkin' Donuts within 5 minutes, we're not doing it. I'm like, nope.
How often do you eat at Dunkin' Donuts each week?
Oh, each week or each day?
Okay, each day.
So
because apparently you eat every day at Dunkin' Donuts.
Average anywhere between two to 3 times a day.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I don't remember when the last time was that I had a donut or something similar.
Oh no, it's on the days that I work, it's Dunkin' Donuts on the way into work, Dunkin' Donuts on the way back home from work, and then usually a Dunkin' Donuts right before I go to bed.
What's your favorite?
Oh, just coffee with a shit ton, with enough sugar to kill a person.
What favorite donut?
Is medium coffee, 6 creams, 14 sugars.
Jesus.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I'd go to the hospital on that.
I actually ordered that one time, and they actually know me at a lot of the Dunkin' Donuts. And the woman at the drive-thru, she was like, "No." I was like, "Excuse me?" It's like, "No, I'm not giving you another cup of diabetes. I'm not doing it."
We don't have Dunkin' Donuts here. You know why we don't have a Dunkin' Donuts here? Because we have a local place called Quality Dairy, and there's one on like every corner in our town or our city. And they sell donuts and coffee. That's like their thing, plus gas and other convenience store stuff. But yeah, they're huge here in Michigan. They're huge. And but that's why we don't have a Dunkin' Donuts, because there was one for a while. There was one, but nobody ever went there because everybody went to QD instead.
Yeah, here we have a lot of local cafes, things like that, bakeries and all. So we have a Dunkin' Donuts, but only at a big shopping mall. So normally when you buy stuff like that here in Vienna, you just go to a cafe. They have sweets, they have cake, they have good coffee, all you can ask for.
Yeah, and the Dunkin' Donuts here in America, they all they get there super early and make everything fresh every day. So
Really?
It's almost like going to a small town bakery.
Dunkin' Donuts in the 80s, they used to be like that. Now they don't do now they don't make it fresh anymore.
Yeah, K-pop. The Tim Hortons are starting to pop up around here too. It was kind of crazy to see them popping up like they are. K-pop's from Michigan too. She was
Michigan.
Yeah. Time to make the donuts, right? I remember the commercial. Early in the morning they'd go in and they had this commercial where they would go into Dunkin' Donuts early, like 3 a.m. and
time to make the
donuts.
Yeah. Now they just have a factory that makes the donuts and ships them out to all the stores.
I think I want to draw something with a donut in it. Maybe I'll draw Rogue eating a donut. I think I'm gonna do that.
She got to have her coffee with 14 sugars too, right?
Yeah, gotta have it.
Okay, yeah, 14 sugars.
I was telling them about the time you brought me to some white trash town that didn't have a Dunkin' Donuts in it.
Yeah, he was just like, what kind of messed up town did you take me to? Oh my God. And it's funny because I grew up in I grew up in California, but I didn't grow up in the completely nice places of California. So I'm just like, okay, well, I guess this is not the greatest place for you.
No.
The struggles are real.
Struggle is real.
Struggles.
And like when we were looking for like apartments and we came across the place we have now, and she's like, "Oh, what do you think about this?" I'm like, looking up Google. I'm like, "Ooh, Dunkin' Donuts, 2 minutes up the road. We'll take it." She's like, "But we didn't even go look at it yet. Dunkin' Donuts, 2 minutes up the road. What the hell else do I need?"
So K-pop Junkie says she can rage counting packets because they ran out at 13.
Let's
see what.
Well, we just a special announcement. There's 15 minutes left in the campaign, and we just broke $1,000.
Yes!
Yay! I think we should do something.
1,004.
All right.
So that was definitely very, very impressive. And still,
cheers to $1,000.
Cheers.
I had a soda here somewhere. I already drank before.
That's my.
I have my juice right here. That's gotta suffice.
That Kraken,
mm-hmm.
Kraken rum. Ooh, that stuff is good.
Yeah, I can't do that stuff anymore. Me and my idiot friend, who we both are fucking retarded, who thought when we were 21 and thought we were badasses and so cool. We used to do Jack Daniels and Wild Turkey 101.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and we used to get the bottles and be like, dude, we're cool. We can do this. Like, this stuff tastes awesome. Like, oh, God.
Before kids, I would drink Blue Label Pop Off because it was like $6 a fifth. You want to talk about a horrible hangover. Ooh.
Isn't Blue Label super expensive?
No, it's like it's almost bottom shelf. You can get
really
further down, but it's pretty low.
Okay, either we aren't talking about the same bottle or we are being screwed over here. Because here a Blue Label bottle is super expensive.
No, it's Pop Off. Blue Label Pop Off.
Okay, yeah, I never drank it because it was I don't spend that much money on alcohol.
And my friend back in the day, we did natural ice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it was $16 for a 30-pack of beer.
Right?
And we were like, $16 for a 30-pack? All right.
Yep.
It was like, dude, why does my stomach hurt?
Right? I wasn't until I got older that I found that if you actually spend a little bit of money on your alcohol, you don't feel as horrible.
Yeah, we did natural ice and Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
I live in a wine country. I just drink wine.
I didn't even have wine until I was in my late 30s. My wife is a huge fan of wine, so we do that now.
I still can't. She's tried a couple times with me. She's like, here, try a glass. I'll just do it like a shot.
Yeah.
And she's like, the fuck? I'm like, forget it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm actually when I was my drinking years, I wasn't drinking because my son, my oldest, he was born about 2 months after my 21st birthday, and after he was born, I kind of quit hanging out and doing all that, and all I did was work.
Yep.
Work to put food on the table. So now I'm older, all my kids are grown and gone, and I'm like, well, I want to have a drink, but I want to have a good drink. So, I like it. But yeah, so now I don't drink. It's weird because when you're young and in your 20s, a lot of times you drink to get drunk, and then as you get older, it's no more drink to get drunk. It's drink to just kind of get that mellow, warm feeling. Yeah,
you just want to have a drink, just be like, dude, I just want to sit and. I mean, it's funny too because me and my best friend, who also my friend Matt, who did the music for the the promo video. My best friend.
Nice. Yeah, that was pretty good too.
Yeah, he was the only one I trusted to do the music for it. because he's just sick on the guitar. He's absolutely sick. But like even today, like he's got 3 kids too, and the rare chance that we actually get to go out, we'll go to the bar, we'll have like 1 beer, maybe 2,
a beer,
and then it's just like water.
Yep, I hear that. When me and my wife go out, we take turns, and by we take turns, I mean I don't drink and she does.
That's cruel.
But I don't mind because she has fun. So every once in a while, now that my youngest is off to college, she'll come home and we'll make her go to shows with us. We go to a small bar in Michigan that does like 500 people concerts.
Yeah.
And so we'll make her drive us so we can enjoy ourselves.
Oh man.
But honestly, drinking with one's parents is the best thing ever.
How me and my friends still have our license today, or like are even alive. I mean, it's retarded.
Right.
Because the way we figured out who was sober enough to drive home was who could ever walk the straightest line to the car. That's who was the soberest. And, well, you're more sober than I am, so you should drive. and I always lost because he would just. My friend was the kind of person who could sneeze and be sober. He could be completely hammered, sneeze, and be like, "All right, I'm sober."
Sounds like my dad.
Looking like sideways all the way around like a parking lot to get to the car. He'd be like,
so he always had to do the driving.
I'm getting there. And now it's like, have a beer. We're good. we're good. We know what happens. We're good.
Yeah, beer doesn't do much. That's fine.
We're on 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Yeah. 6 minutes, people. 6 minutes, and then this campaign is over. There will be no extensions. This will be
no in demand either, right?
No in demand.
Nice.
I will probably have a few copies left over after everything is shipped out.
Yeah, I want a few, please.
So I'll definitely have a few copies left over. So if anybody missed it, they could just send me the payments through PayPal. I'll set something up for that. But you won't get any of the perks, the free 6x9 prints, or anything like that. You'll just be getting the book. But 6 minutes, everybody. That's all you got.
Yep.
Then it will be finally over. Jesus.
Yeah, for a few months, dude. Then I'll be right back to work again, man. So.
Oh man, but it's really extreme. Like you contacted me in August of last year.
That's crazy.
And I don't know how it was with you, but to me it never felt like, okay, this is actually happening. But then
I mean, like
it just kept happening, and now it's done.
Yeah, it was so weird, like because like we talked about doing this, and I was writing the story, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna put out a comic book. And then when I finished writing the story and gave it to him, I was like, holy crap, this is actually gonna happen. It's actually gonna happen. And then when he started drawing the pages, it was both of us were like, holy shit, this is really gonna happen. This is really gonna happen. And then when he finished the book and we had it on the campaigns, we're like, holy shit, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
It's a really weird feeling. It you can't describe it.
It's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it was an absolute. You told me.
I'm glad we broke that 1,000 tonight. That's awesome.
Yeah, that
is really neat. Yeah.
Everybody just comes out at the last minute. I think a lot of people are always waiting to see, like, are you going in demand? Because I've seen so many campaigns that are like, we're closing out last 30 days, closing out. I'm like, oh, cool, let me buy it. And then We're going in demand. Son of a bitch, why didn't you tell me that? I would have backed it yet.
Right? I would have waited until I could have done this and that.
Right. I'm like, well, there was 3 other books I wanted ahead of yours. I would have bought them because you're going in demand for another month. I'm like, I could have bought these 3 books. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that everybody is always kind of waiting for to see, like, okay, are you actually closing or are you pretending to close?
See, I think the only time that I have ever jumped on something right away was when they had that. They have like that first couple day variant cover, or if Dale Keown's on it. Like Rainey just launched her 2.5 book on fundmycomic, and I backed that on the first day because I wanted the variant cover that she had for it. But I'll probably go back and get some of the other stuff later on because she's got it going for 3 months. I think. No, 6 months before it's Irina Stravinsky. She did the Fiendish books. Yeah. She's one of the kings. She's used to work for Marvel.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
But she's so I bought 1 and 2, and when I got them, I sat down and read them cover to cover in the same day. Like I didn't move out of my bed until I was done reading.
If you want a really another good book, I know right now on Indiegogo, he's got issue number 4, Perfect 10.
Yep, I already got 1 through 4 or 1 through 3, and I've already got 4.
I've always meant to go pick them up, and he had them on fundmycomics, and I picked them up, and I finally had a chance to sit down and read them yesterday. And oh my God, what a great book!
Right, I messaged him and I'm like, so plans on book 4, and he goes, actually launching it in 2 weeks. I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's really a really good book. I'm gonna pick up number 4, and then I'm picking up all the extra add-ons of American Bliss, Dreamweaver, and I think like 2 other books I think that he's got on the add-ons. He's an awesome guy too. Super friendly. He was one of the first, the second person who let me come on his show. Awesome guy. Just an awesome guy, and writes great books. You definitely need to go check them out, and show him lots of love and support.
Yep. I actually have a review of 1 through 3 scheduled. I got to finish taping some stuff, putting it together, and then I'll be putting it out. So that'll be going on my channel probably in the next few days.
Yeah, that book looks awesome. I mean, it was just awesome. It was just a great 90s feel story, like Weapon X style. Feel to it. And again, same thing, kind of like my book. It just starts right off with action. Starts right off in the middle of the book. You don't really know what's going on, but it's not super confusing to like figure out like within the first like 5 pages of like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. Like it's just awesome. And
all right.
I think we're closed out.
Yep, 13 seconds ago, closed out at 1,004.
All right.
Oh my.
Nice.
Broke the 1K.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome.
That is so amazing for your first comic, dude. I'm inspired by what you did here. You just blown away what anybody could imagine for a first time creator.
Believe me, it blew me away too. I mean, like when I started this project, I mean, I even said it to my best friend, and I says, I don't know how this thing is gonna go. I says I could sell 5 books. I could sell. I don't know, and I even think I said the same thing to Kitty. I says, I don't know how this thing is gonna go. I mean, we could end up selling decently. I says, or we could end up selling like 5 books. I says I have no idea how this is gonna go. But
my expectations were basically just, we'll see what happens. Like I have no
Yeah,
reference.
Kitty has a very
I have
laid
no
back-
reference point to make any expectations. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, but I am honestly blown away by this, and as soon as the shipping is all done, and I can find my laptop again, or my
tablet.
my tablet, which is somewhere, and hopefully not break this one. Hopefully not break this one. I went through one tablet and one cell phone while writing this story because
Oh, wow.
apparently they don't. Because apparently punching the screen does not make them work better.
No, not at all.
My fiance came home, and I went out, bought another one. I put it in the drawer, and I'm like, and she comes home, and like a couple days later goes to the drawer and goes, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, that." She goes, "The hell did you do?" I'm like, "Well, it wouldn't save." So you punched it? I'm like, it wouldn't work. And this made it better? I'm like, made me feel better.
Well, it's not on the screen anymore.
I'm like, well, it made me feel better.
Well, we're coming up on 2 hours, so I think we're going to wrap this up.
Oh, yes. But thank you very
Sounds
much.
good. I need to go to
John.
bed.
Thank you for
Maybe get some
hosting this long event.
Oh, no, dude. This was great, man. It was nice talking to both you guys and you two.
Oh,
Kitty,
yeah.
and
Thank you for having me.
meet you guys, so.
Kitty, thank you for getting up at 3 a.m.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Follow me on Twitter, everyone. I will open commissions again very soon. So
But not for long, though.
not for long, because this guy's gonna keep me busy. But seriously, I do want to do that again. So if peeps like my stuff,
Yeah.
come take a look.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely go hit up Kitty. He does amazing work. He'll draw you whatever you want.
All right. Till next time.
Almost whatever you want. Till next time.
Everybody. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.